Hello and welcome to my review for Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 1. I'm your host, JPW. Before we start, I just need to fill you all in. You see, I had this plan. I was wanting to start up a new show and do it on a weekly basis. Due to other commitments, I won't be able to start that straight away. But you see, as of next week, I will be overseas. So my plan has to wait. I will be back for the finale though. So I had this awesome idea. What if I review the first episode, give my predictions of what is to come, then I review the final episode 6 weeks later and see if any of my predictions were close or if I was way off. After all of that, I do a Season 7 review. Sounds awesome, huh? Now, we all know how dangerous the internet can be for Game of Thrones. Hopefully, I can find a way to steer clear of spoilers. Or, who knows, I might just take my iPad with me and watch the episodes online. Anyway, let's get started. If you like this video, be sure to tell your friends about me and hit that subscribe button. That way you can stay up to date with future episodes and my new show coming in September. Kicking off the episode, we get Walder Frey and the Freys enjoying a feast. I was a little bit confused at first. I figured it must have been a flashback. After the Red Wedding, maybe? As we soon find out though, it wasn't Walder Frey after all. It was Aria. It seems like the Faceless can also change their size. I like this. It's Aria getting her revenge, and it's the Freys being wiped out. Hopefully for good. I guess this is how they're dealing with the Lady Stoneheart arc. I'm very disappointed we're not going to get her, but I'm happy for Aria to take the mantle. Whilst I'm on Aria, I also enjoyed her scene with the Lannister men / Ed Sheeran. I don't know why the internet is so upset. Maybe they didn't like that he was a Lannister? I liked it though. Aria and them playing nice was a nice moment, and it shows that not all Lannisters are bad. We go from one Stark to the next. Brandon. He's taken on the form of a giant to check up on the White Walkers. I wonder if the Night King is aware of his presence. It seems kind of odd that he wouldn't be. After all, this is a king who can turn babies into White Walkers with the touch of a finger and raise armies from the dead. How could he not be aware someone is using his men to check up on him? He knows, and he wants Bran to warg on them. It also gives him an idea of where they are and how close they are. I'm glad Bran finally gets to the wall. I'm curious as to how he'll drop the bombshell and whether Jon will believe him. Is there any way Bran can prove it to others? Or will they just have to take his word for it? The Stark train isn't over yet. We got Jon and Sansa at Winterfell. We get a little bit of sibling rivalry here. Did you make a mistake supporting Jon and letting him be in charge, Sansa? I do like how Jon suggests that not only men should fight, but they should train women, boys, and girls. The way he held his own makes him a really good king in my view. I also like how he stood up for the Karstarks and the Umbers. Children shouldn't suffer because of the sins of the father. Sansa having conflict with this was also good. I like this little rivalry, and I like how Sansa asserts herself and her views. She's become a lot smarter and has really grown up quite well. I like that she's questioning Jon, and by the looks of things, Littlefinger likes it too. But he likes it for a different reason. I think we all know what that is. Jon tells Sansa off, and Sansa tells Jon not to be so blind and that they must be smarter or else they're going to get killed like all the other Starks before them. Bringing up Cersei is also good, and seeing Sansa have admiration was a little bit interesting nonetheless. I wouldn't compare Jon to Joffrey though. I feel he is more like Daenerys, if anything. I mean, Daenerys had the same problem with Barristan and Jorah when they questioned her motives. She told them off. We're also treated to a little bit of Tormund and Breanna. I don't really like this idea. I'm not a fan of this. My hope is Tormund protects her only to end up being killed in the process. Sorry, I'm just not digging it. I don't know why people love this. Yuck. Tormund and Brienne. Ah! We're finally done with the Starks for now, and we get to the Lannisters. They have enemies almost everywhere now. The map is awesome. They found a way to get it into the show and make it stand out in its glory. Yeah, Stannis had the table, but I like seeing it on the floor. I also realized here too that there's only 3 Lannisters left. It could very well be their endgame. How will it all unfold? Will Aria kill Cersei? Or will it be Jaime? Or will it be Tyrion? I did think of one more twist, and this would be kind of a fun twist, but it would also piss a lot of fans off. Aria kills Cersei. She then becomes Cersei. The reason for this is she wants to kill Jaime. It backfires and Jaime kills her as Cersei. As he does it, he sees Cersei change to Aria. He is shocked and he is freaked out. There is no redemption now for Jaime. The Greyjoys. Pretty obvious where they were going with this. I love the tongue-in-cheek from Euron. I'm a man with lots of ships and 2 good hands. I laugh out loud at that line. It was a gold line. I just loved it. He's ripping on Jaime. He's bragging about himself and he's ripping on Jaime at the same time. I'm guessing he's going to get Tyrion's head for Cersei. I'd like it if Theon killed Euron though. Imagine Theon coming to the aid of Tyrion Lannister. These two didn't get along at all at the start. Poor old Sam. You wanted to be a maester, yet here you are emptying bedpans and serving soup. Someone has to do the dirty work. Might as well be the new kid on the block. And don't even think about going into that restricted area in the library. Wait, that sounds familiar. Is that you, Horace Slughorn? We've stepped into the magical world of Harry Potter. As it turns out, the Archmeister believes Sam but doesn't see the threat or doesn't seem to worry about it. You should be afraid. Be very afraid. Sam steals the keys and steals a few books. Is this wise? pretty sure it's not, and he's going to get caught and kicked out. What's next? It's time for the Brotherhood and Sandor Clegane. He's not hiding that scar anymore. They arrive at a very familiar place. Hound doesn't like it. Step inside and find 2 dead skeletons. It took me a while to remember who they were. Beric seemed to have replaced Stoneheart as the leader of the Brotherhood. He's still the leader. I'm curious to how different the books are from here. Sandor questions Beric's immortality, and this prompts Forrest to make a believer out of Sandor. Sandor looks into the fire and sees a glimpse of the future and what's to come. It's not pretty, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. It's time for some grave digging. It seems like Sandor is trying to right his wrongs, and burying the family that you killed is a good start. Forrest helping him was nice too. We cut back to Sam and we find out Dragonstone is actually built on a mountain of dragon glass. Really? You don't say. I was wondering why they call it Dragonstone. Game of Thrones then pulls a trick out of the scary movies. A stone hand grabbing Sam, and we hear Jorah's voice. How did you ever get to the Citadel, Jorah? Hoping to find the cure, are you? Finally, Daenerys is home. Home, sweet home. She's come a long way, and now it's time. Seeing her walk through the castle and pull down Stannis' banners was all so surreal. I really liked how they let it all sink in. I've always been critical of them ending with Daenerys, but sometimes in moments like these, it's just right. Standing over that table and saying, "Shall we begin?" It's perfect. It sets you up and it creates that excitement. It's what we've all been waiting for. It's a great episode to kick off the season. It lays the groundwork of what is to come and what we can expect from the next 6 episodes. It feels kind of weird we're only getting 7. I personally would have loved 1 season of 10 and then a movie, or a 3-hour long episode to finish it off. But this also works. And if George does have his book finished by the end of this year, it gives us a chance to compare the two. It also makes us anticipate the final 6 episodes. Actually, I'm not even sure how much Winds of Winter is supposed to cover. It may just cover 5 and 6. There was quite a bit of stuff that happened there that wasn't in Dance of Dragons. If you've stayed this long, thank you for listening. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much. And let's hope you can join me again 6 weeks down the track. That's all for now. Remember, if you like this video, be sure to click subscribe and let others know. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you at the end.